Hey guys, how's it going? We are back here in the kitchen again, cooking it up. And yeah, another day, another dish live in front of you. We're going to take a closer look on a true American classic, which goes by the name of BLT, that stands for bacon, lettuce, tomato. It is a sandwich of the North American cuisine, and it is a really traditional meal which has basic ingredients, but what you would end up with is not basic at all. In terms of flavor complexity and overall taste, it is not basic at all. And this is something beautiful and something I like about the North American kitchen. I don't know what it is, but they manage to create so many beautiful dishes out of so few ingredients, if that makes any sense. And this recipe is no exception. But what you have to really keep in mind, you have to take a closer look on the quality of your ingredients, because you want to get the best ingredients possible, because there is no room for errors, to be honest. You are looking for the best lettuce you can find, the best tomatoes you can find. The tomatoes are really what are making the sandwich. And tomatoes are often not really tasting like real tomatoes. This is a little bit of the task here, to find the complexity of the task here, to find tomatoes, even if you're off season in terms of tomatoes, that are really tasting like tomatoes. And if you have these quality ingredients, they will all end up creating a beautiful tasting meal, which then goes by the name of BLT. So with all that being said, I'm going to wrap things up and we're going to switch to the POV cam. So here we are, starting the process of creating our beautiful BLT sandwich. And the first thing I would recommend doing is cutting your bread. Cut off the first piece there. We're going to cut 2 pieces. Great. Clean off the mess I created here really quickly. Having a tool like this is really convenient, as you can see. Also, you can use it to scoop things up. I will put the link of this piece of equipment in the description down below, in case you are interested in buying one of these. So the next step would be, I will cut the bacon last, because I usually cut my vegetables first, because you don't want to cut raw meat and then cut your vegetables, especially if these vegetables are not going to be cooked, which is not the case in the BLT sandwich. Let's first cut our tomato here. We're going to slice it, but we are trying to achieve really thin slices here, because the idea is, as you can see through this slice, and the idea is to create multiple layers of tomato. You can take your time, because it will also take some time for your pan to get to the point where you are ready to throw the bacon in. One more thing to notice: if you want to cut slices that are that thin, you will actually need a pretty sharp knife, otherwise it won't work. This is the point where it gets a little bit sketchy, and if you are not confident to do this, then just don't do it, because it is probably not worth cutting yourself, especially not if you are using a knife that is that sharp. Put them over here. Now we are going to slice the lettuce. Our pan is getting up to heat, so I want to chop the lettuce really thin. So I'm going to cut off a slice of it, basically, then another slice of it, like this. What I'm going to do is grab it like this and really cut it into super fine dices, basically. Dice it like you would dice an onion. Be careful with your fingers, always use the claw grip if you are doing stuff like this. Okay, this is getting faster to heat than expected. We're going to take this off for a second, let it cool down a little bit while we are continue to dice up the lettuce. Of course, you can always move the lettuce and continue to dice it from another angle, which is also something that is pretty common in the Asian kitchen. You can often see people doing it with pak choi or cabbage, with all sorts of different cabbages. People over there are really slicing it extremely thin. They are masters at their crafts, and they can do it way faster than I currently do. Time will take us there, but we will see. You have to cut a whole lot of thin slices to be able to reach their level of skill. By the way, this is iceberg lettuce. Whoa, okay, that was hella risky. You want to be really careful to stay focused while doing this, and therefore always use the claw grip, what the heck? And therefore always use the claw grip. I'm probably going to speed this up a little bit because this is taking a little too long. This is a pretty fine dice here. Actually, this might be the finest dice I've ever pulled off using a knife. That is great. And now we are going to use another cutting board, because this is my vegetable cutting board. What I would suggest you is just get a whole piece of bacon. Don't even think about getting those previously cut thin slices or even cubes. You don't want that. You just want to have a really nice good old piece of bacon. This part here is part of the skin. Actually, it is the skin, and you probably want to remove this. I know some people that would eat it, but I'm not keen on that, so I'm going to remove this as our first step. Just dice this off. Okay, cut this into half like this. Get this on the side and cut pieces like this. Just take your time with this because it is a little bit wiggly. I'm going to put that pan on the heat again. Grab a spatula. Link is in the description down below if you're interested in having a professional grade spatula. Slide that in there and let it melt. As you see, this is pretty high heat because even though I just pulled the pan off the stove for quite some time, it is immediately back to heat. So we might turn this down a notch because we don't want to burn it. It is super hot actually. Yeah, this is something you have to be a little bit dynamic in the process, but it's also what I love about cooking. And yeah, depending on the stove you're using, on the equipment you're using, it might differ and be faster or slower. So that looks nice. Lay the bacon in there, bat the bacon. Be careful to not burn yourself. Turn this down more because you really want to render these fats, and you don't want to cook it too fast. Make sure to coat it evenly with the butter you have in there, you put in there, or other types of oil. I'm going to put this away from the hot stove for a second because it is too hot for my taste. We've dialed it down all the way. This goes to 9. I have it in between 2 and 3. We will wait a few seconds until it adjusts and then put the pan back on. In the meantime, I'm going to prepare the mayonnaise, which we are going to use to finish off our sandwich. Pickled cucumbers, onions and capers. And I have this because I needed it for another video, which I also shot today in a ratio of 1 to 1. And we are going to mix this with the mayonnaise of our choice. I'm actually using Miracle Whip balance because I'm on a diet, so I'm going to use this. Of course, you don't have to use this. You can use any of your favorite mayonnaises. We're going to put something in there. Give this a stir again. Okay, great. Now add it to the mix. I really like this blend, so I'm going to use a little bit more. And now we mix this. Just get a close-up shot of this. Perfect. Now put the pan back. Okay, this is sounding way better and this is looking pretty spectacular. What are we going to do now is we will turn on the heat to around 6 and wait a few seconds. Yeah, and now we are going to mix it fast in the pan. What that does, it actually gives a coating and some crunch to the outside, while keeping the inside of the bacon really smooth and tender and juicy. Also, you don't want to overdo it because you don't want to lose the juiciness. Nice. Now we're adding a special ingredient. You don't have to do this, but it will add another layer of beautiful flavors, and my favorite choice for that is this one. It is a black label Johnny Walker, and it is just an amazing blend of a Scotch whiskey. Yeah, just the smell of it alone is amazing. And what we're going to do, we're going to drip this in. I'm going to use the spatula. You could also do this on the side of your pan, but I'm not going to do this because I don't want to grease this bottle. So I'm going to do it from here. Immediately you can smell all the beautiful whiskey aromatics in your nostrils, and yeah, it just smells ridiculously good. Ridiculously good. I just love to add these little tweaks to dishes I cook, and yeah, this one is no exception. So we are there, guys. Just have a look at this. It is sizzling hot. You can see this dripping with flavors. I try to get you to a close-up while not burning my hair. Yeah. Amazing. Now turn off that heat. So remove the bacon and let it rest. And with all that oil we just relieved, we are going to roast our bread, which will be an amazing addition to the overall dish. Just do it like this, just like Grandma used to do. Throw in another piece, the other side. Give this a firm rub. Be careful to not burn yourself while doing so. By the way, I think it is a 28 centimeter diameter pan. You don't want to do the first one then the second one, because the first one would then cool off in the meantime, and yeah, it would be better to try your best to avoid this. Give them a flip. Okay, this pan is not hot enough right now. Okay, they get a crunch, they get to the level of crunch. but I'm not really patient right now, so I turn it back on. You also could just wait a few seconds, because there is still enough energy stored in the pan to be able to really roast these to toast. Yeah, but as I said, I'm not really patient, so we skip that step. Fast forward. What I'm going to do now is we will build the sandwich. Give it a flip. Give this one a flip. Put them on the side. Some of that earlier created sauce to both of the sides of these sandwiches, these bread slices. Fair enough. We're going to put on pieces of bacon and layer that bacon onto the sandwich. I assume you are a bacon lover, so this is what we are looking at now. I'm also a lettuce lover, so I'm going to do more lettuce. Most people don't like too much lettuce. I love the lettuce, so I'm going to do more. Here we are, looking like this. Throw on these thinly sliced tomatoes on top of it. That is what I'm talking about. That's the reason why you want to slice them thin, so you could stack a whole lot of tomatoes on the sandwich and yeah, really give this a kick. Now look at this. Salt to the tomatoes, just a notch, because the bacon is already very salty, and also some freshly ground pepper, just because I'm a pepper lover. And if you're feeling fancy, you could add something that is called balsamico. There you go. Just a tiny notch, because that stuff really has its own taste and will transform it more towards an Italian dish than an American dish probably. So this is the current state of art. Excuse the mark on my forehead. That is because I'm wearing the POV GoPro all the time, and yeah, it leaves marks. I will tilt this fella up as much as I can. Okay, this is actually not practicable. I'm going to... this is not quite what I wanted. This is quite the operation here. We do it like this. Okay, this is a great shot. Just look at this. Okay, this is my shot. This is the thumbnail shot. Have a bite. Fuck yeah. Sorry guys. This is just not the type of food you want to eat clean. Just not the type of food you will end up on the, however this list is called. Is it called Schnigge? Honestly, I don't even care, because this is a great sandwich. This is this. I will take you for another ride. I'm going to squish it. It's just a fun meal. Not only not only to cook, but also to eat. So there you go. Let me have a quick sip of water. Cut. Okay guys, I'm back from a shower. Yeah, that's a wrap. That's it. I have nothing more to say than have a nice day. Thank you for joining, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that like button, to ring that bell, subscribe to my channel for future videos, and that's it. See you in the next one. Peace.